buddy. Bro, I'm back. I'm doing this podcast again. I'm still on my goal. You guys thought I stopped. I'm not stopping. I'm gonna do my 21 episodes that I promised myself at the beginning of the year. I'm doing that still. Whatever. You guys thought I wasn't gonna keep my commitment, but I'm doing it. I just took a little break, bro. I've been figuring stuff out with my business. Little update on that. Um I'm doing the whole pre-foreclosure route. For those of you that don't know, shoot, locking up these pre-foreclosure deals. Like I don't shoot. I hate to brag, bro, but like I'm turning into a killer on these phones, bro. Like, yeah, bro. I'm figuring out how these people work and like what their mindset is really like, because people are in pre-foreclosure. First of all, you got to react fast. Like whenever you get a pre-foreclosure seller on the phone, or you get their attention and they're interested in some sort of way, whether it's you just helping them out and giving them information on what their options are because they don't know nothing, or they're immediately wanting to sell, you have to react quickly. The other day, I I was visiting my mom. Um, it was I had just set up my campaign. It's so crazy. If this would have happened my first month of doing it, I would have been immediately hooked, and I am hooked. But um, I set up my campaign for the start of the month. So for those of you that don't know, maybe I explained this on a previous video. Maybe I didn't. I don't know if I did or not. I forgot. But um, I set up monthly campaigns to pre-foreclosure lists. Texas has a month to month um list, and every first Tuesday of the month they have their auction. So it's somewhat organized, right? And so I send out these pre-foreclosure campaigns, these text campaigns to basically market what I got going on, saying, "Hey, my name is Anthony. I can help you stop the foreclosure. Just give me a call back or whatever." Like, there's different messages that I have. I try out different ways of getting these people's attention, and so I started. What was it, last week and a half? I don't know when it was, but it was at the beginning of the month, towards the beginning of the month. Um, and I started my campaign day one. I started it late too. I woke up late that day, and my wife, we went and had breakfast, and I was at the breakfast table. We were at the restaurant. I was on my computer, and I set up all the campaigns. Like, I set up my first week campaign to all three markets that I market to, which is San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. So for those of you that need help locking up deals in San Antonio, Houston, or Dallas, hit me up, bro. Um, I know the market very well. I can, get you guys a buyer. I can, uh, if it's a pre-foreclosure deal, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to your sellers, whatever you need. Hit me up. Instagram, DM, email. I don't check emails, but yeah, hit me up, bro. Just yeah, my Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. Message me. Text me if you have my number. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I sent out the first week campaign, and within, I think it was an hour later, bro, I got somebody on the hook, and I locked him up, and like 30 minutes after he hit me up, I locked him up for um the price. We weren't way out. I mean, shit, he was at the price already. He already knew what, he already did his homework on where he needed to sell his house at, and how much he wanted to profit, and it made sense, right? And so it was fucking easy, right? And I was like, wow, this shit just literally landed in my lap. Um and back when I first started the campaigns, I wouldn't have locked it up, because I wouldn't have sounded confident, and I would have stuttered. I remember there was a couple times where, and these people see right through it. These people in pre-foreclosure, they've talked to a lot of people already, and so well, most of them, but they see it, bro. They have this sense, bro. They're not, man. They're not always in the, like. I don't want to talk crap about people, but they're not always in the best mental state, I guess, because they're going through a tough time. God bless them, but like, they see right through you. They see through the bullshit. And so, like, if you're real and genuine and have confidence in what you're selling in your product and whatever, and that you're not selling anything, you're buying, but if you're confident in your like approach, man, like the better your approach is, like the more they'll like. And you can't sound salesy. You just gotta like if I'm talking to you like if I'm talking to you right now, like with this podcast, like I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I'm just shooting the shit. I'm talking, and so this is the way I've been approaching these pre foreclosures, as opposed to when I first started. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like I was super salesy, and then I was like, "Man, I just gotta tone it down. I gotta be myself." And yeah, man, I've been locking up these deals, bro. And so that one landed on my lap, and then I just locked up another one today, and I'm fucking, bro. I'm hyped right now, dude. And I'm locking up these deals, and just being more confident and tightening up my systems. Um, and I could do a whole breakdown on like what I've been really working on, but we'll save that for we'll save that for another day. But yeah, uh, yeah, that's what I've been working on. I just been dialed in every fucking day, just like tightening up the systems. I have to, what is it called, 10 DOC or whatever. I got to deal with that bullshit on the daily. These texts, like, they keep blocking me. And bro, today, the one I locked up today, I posted on my Instagram. I was like, man, I was negotiating with the seller all morning through text, because these pre-foreclosure people, they sometimes, there's some that don't like hopping on the phone. They won't get on the phone. They just text. Or maybe this one specifically was at work, and once we locked her up, once we locked her up, we did hop on the phone, but she just wouldn't hop on the phone at first, and I found out it's because she was at work. But but my freaking messages, I was running a campaign at the same time, and I was getting a lot of I was getting a lot of errors. Whatever. I mean, I don't like whatever. I don't gotta get into it. But I was sending out a lot of messages that weren't going through to phones that were off. And so if you got a lot of bad hits, then your account gets suspended. So right when the freaking seller said okay deal, my account got suspended and I couldn't give her the next steps. And so like that's very crucial, because when you're messing with these pre-foreclosure people, like they'll change on you real quick. Like, and I was like, oh shit, I went into panic mode. I started texting her from my phone and then my other phone, and I was just, I was like, nah, nah, nah. And she didn't respond to any other, and she still to this to freaking bro. She didn't respond to the other two texts, and I told her, I was like, I texted you from 469 number. She didn't look through it. She was just like, whatever. Just text me to this one when this one starts working again. I was like, all right, but these people don't like, but bro, you gotta think, these pre foreclosures, they get messages and calls all day long. So if they cling on to you and they find your text or the way that you marketed to them, and they found your contact information, and they find you specifically interested, they're gonna be loyal. But you gotta keep them on the hook. You can't let them go. And so, yeah, there's a lot of shit that has to be, that goes into it, man. And yeah, man, I'm like, it's super exciting, because like just learning all the ins and outs of this business and how rewarding it is, um bro, crazy. Like, the sky's the limit too, because man, like people do their marketing on these pre-foreclosure lists, but some of them, like, I've been looking at it, and it's like, bro, you could do more. And I've been like deep diving in that mug, bro, like yeah. And I've been picking up these nuggets from like other people that are in the industry, and just like trying to get it all the way right to where I'm doing like 10 deals a month on just a niche list like pre-foreclosure. That's my goal, is to like lock up at least 10 contracts a month, just solo, just me. Like maybe not solo, but maybe like with a VA or two here in the next few months. But like, bro, like there's people that are doing it, and they're doing it on only one channel, with maybe one or two channels, and they're not like using, like they're not utilizing more channels. But it could switch, like I was talking to one of the homies in Sub 2. Shout out Kang. He does SMS, but most of his and same thing with Christian Hernandez, my partner actually. You know, he um we kind of got this deal going on. Not deal, but we kind of got this thing going on where it's like, bro, I'm the acquisitions. Like, I'm just gonna focus on acquiring these properties, and you just handle the dispo side. But like, there's this common strategy of just like, hey, um, building up a following to, uh, you know, bro, that's where it's at. Building up a following for other people to come and bring you deals. That's where the money's at. That's where the bread and butter's at. That's what my other ultimate goal is. But for now, it's just like tightening up this marketing shit, man. Like, I'm all into marketing right now. Just like marketing and obviously sales too. It's kind of like I call it like reverse sales, like because I'm buying, right? I'm acquiring. Um, but yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I've been yeah, it's wild. I love it. It's cool. The journey's dope. I think a lot of people miss it. Like, I think a lot of people miss the opportunity of like documenting the journey, right? And I mean, shit, me too. I'm not documenting as much as I could and should, but like, I'm feeling it in this moment. Like, I'm feeling the momentum. Um, and bro, it's a roller coaster too, because one minute you think you got it all, and then the next minute you're like, man, I pulled no leads today. I'm freaking dry. Nobody's, I had a bad conversation. I had a bad call. This fool hung up on me. This seller ghosted me. This contract fell through. Bro, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. But the crazy thing is, you know what? I'm just spilling my mind right now. Listen, there's no structure to this podcast. There isn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is for me, bro. Listen, the coolest thing about it, about where I'm at in my business right now, is that um the coolest thing about it is that I got such tough skin right now, bro, with the business side of things. Like, I've took like I tell this people all the time. I tell this to people all the time. I've taken so many L's already. Like, shit was not going right at first, but I wanted it so bad, bro. And so now that I got momentum, I'm not saying I got it all the way right, bro. I'm not saying I'm this big shot, but I feel the momentum. Like, it's different this time. And it's so crazy because I know there will be more L's on the journey, and like, shit, I mean, they might hurt, but like, gosh, bro, I've already built up tough skin, bro. I think I can take it. Hopeful. I mean, I don't know, man. There might be some blows where I'm like, damn. But like, I think, you know what I think combats it? I think I think consistency combats it, and just being consistent with making sure whatever task you set up for the day, as long as you accomplish the task, doesn't matter if you do good at it, as long as you accomplish what you set out to do, that's a win. And you keep stacking these small wins. There's no result to any of these wins for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Eventually you'll win. And with consistency, bro, because imagine you lose, and keep losing, right? But at a certain checkpoint, you're guaranteed multiple wins and an abundance of them. Like, that's the way I see it. I know I'm guaranteeing myself an abundance of wins. And so I know that with the more L's I take, the closer I get to a dub. And the more W's I stack, the more I just attract more dubs. And yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. It's wild, bro. I'm gonna make a shit ton of money this year. It's gonna be stupid. um, but yeah, man. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned on this specific recording, but I had a recording maybe on this last video I did. Uh, Other than that, I just been being a dad. Being a dad is my favorite thing to do by far. Um, that and a husband, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't forget the wife. She's cool too. She's pregnant right now. Not a lot of people know. A lot of people still won't know because nobody really watches this podcast. But if you find out from this podcast, shout out to you. Um, but yeah, life is good. God is good. Um, my boys been doing. They've been crushing it at jiu-jitsu. They've been doing some cool stuff, man. They've been rolling, just whooping some ass. My 6-year-old. So there's a 4 through 6 year old class, and so my kid's been going to the same class, and then it just not to brag or whatever, but my kid's already like my kid doesn't turn 7 until October. It's March right now, and the coach, he was like, bro, you're gonna have to get your 6-year-old to the 7 to 13 year old class, and he was like that fool's too strong. He be, you know what I'm saying? He needs more work. He needs better work. So we've been going to the big boy class last couple of times, and yeah, man, he's getting some good work over there. Today he got his ass beat, and he took a L. He was like, "This is my second time losing," and I was like, "Bro, that's good. I like when you lose." I told him I like when you lose. He's like, "What? Why?" And then I was like, "Because I know you don't like losing. You just like me. You don't like losing. So what are we gonna do when we lose? We're gonna work harder. We're gonna work harder to get that dub. You're gonna win next time because you're gonna work harder. There's no exception." And he just ignored my ass. I thought I had a cool deep father son moment right there, spilling some game, but he was just like looking out the window. He had already spaced out. you know, them kids, man. Them kids are funny. Whatever. But yeah, man. The other one's cold too. My little 4-year-old, dude's a beast. He's 4. He's over there whooping 5 and 6-year-old butts. He's over there beast mode, boy. My boys are just so strong. You know what I was doing? When they were first born, I was making them do sit-ups. I'm not gonna lie to you. So they just got these. They just got some. They're tough. They're tough. And then also like I knew, because I always had like I grew up with a lot of kids. In the neighborhood, I grew up with a lot of nephews. I seen the difference between like a tough kid and a not so tough kid. And there's nothing wrong with either or, right? But uh, like I was like, man, I always knew in my mind, like when I became a parent, I was like, man, um, I'm not going to baby my kids when I become a dad. I'm gonna let them get hurt a couple, like not hurt like where it's like they're hurt, but like if they bump their head and they're just like they look for, you know what I'm saying? Like who am I gonna cry to? You gonna be like, you be all right, get up. Like I knew I was gonna be that kind of parent because it might be a dumb reason, but it's because um I just knew it took more work and energy to cater to a crybaby than it was to not cater to a non-crybaby, if that makes sense. So like would I rather have the kid be crying and me having to pick up the kid every time he got hurt, or would I just be like, "Hey man, you good? All right, keep going." And then just that's it. That's way more simpler than, "Oh, it's okay, baby." Now, if the kid gets really, really hurt, then obviously you got to cater to the kid, right? You got to be like, "Hey, man, you okay? Boo, 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 whatever. You need a band-aid? Boo, boo, whatever." And then, let the mom handle it after that. But, yeah, that was my reasoning. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like the kid just wobbles and boom. It's like, bro, you all right, bro? Get up. Or just falls down, scrapes his knee. I'm like, man, come on, get up. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know. That's the way I view it. I'm just like, bro, I ain't trying to pick you up every time you get hurt, man. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna fall. You clumsy. You just learn how to walk, man. You're gonna fall. Like shit. Learn how to deal with it. That's just the way I see it, though, man. Not everybody sees it that way. But yeah, man, I've been dealing with these pre-foreclosures, man. They're the same way, man. Some of them you gotta baby. Some of them you gotta be like, look, man, here's your options. This is what's gonna happen if you don't do anything about it. You're gonna get a sheriff knocking at your door. Like, hey, bro, this ain't your house no more, big dog. So sometimes you gotta tell them the cold hard facts to get their, to get them taking some action about something, right? And then laying down the options and be like, hey, you either gonna get this thing reinstated, you're gonna get a loan mod. If you haven't got a loan mod application already, probably too late because I'm hitting you up 21 days before and you need 37 days to start a loan mod. So if you haven't started a loan mod process and not waiting for an approval, then let's see what else. You're gonna need a bankruptcy. Yeah, I don't recommend bankruptcies because yes, you pause it, but 45 days later, brother, the bank's gonna be calling you and be like, hey, bud, you're back in foreclosure. And guess what? The fees added up. So instead of you owing 10 grand, now you owe 15 grand. Boom. So yeah. And then I'm like, all right, so those three options aren't working for you. Have you ever thought about selling the house? Nah, we don't want to sell. I mean, okay, but you got to think about the long term, right? Like you're gonna take a hit. You're gonna take a hit for 7 years being in bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? If you apply for bankruptcy, if you have a foreclosure on your record, 7 years of bad credit, won't be able to purchase a car. Like, yeah, you might have a car now, but what if something happens? What if you get it totaled? You're not gonna apply. You don't have cash to buy for a cash car right now. So you're gonna need your credit within the next 7.5 years. Correct? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, man. I mean, I know it sucks to let your house go, but if you have some equity, a lot of people don't have equity in their house, so they're not able to sell. But you're fortunate enough if you do have equity in it, you might as well pull some of that out and walk away clean and free, rather than have these banks come knocking at your door saying, hey, this isn't your house anymore. So boom, you gotta spill what's real in front of them sometimes. And they might receive it a certain way, they might receive it in a good way, they might receive it in a bad way, but either way, you just got to be real with them, and you got to be yourself whenever you present these type of options. You're gonna, what does my mentor say? He says something about tribe. Yeah, I got it. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Am I cockeyed? Ooh, am I a poet? Whatever. But yeah, man. Let me know what you think. You know what I need to work on too is my posture. I need to have better posture, bro. I be slouching down, and I always, you know what? I blame my wife too, cause she's 5 foot, and I'm 6 foot. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'10", bro. I'm 5'10". With shoes, I'm 5'11". But yeah, she's 5 foot, bro. So I'm always looking down, and so I blame her for my bad posture, cause I'm always like this. But yeah, that's another thing I need to work on, man. But yeah, man. This podcast was all over the place. I'm just doing it to kind of put out content, bro. I need to get back in the habit of putting out everyday content, bro. Not just on my stories, because I'm good with that, putting on stories. But I need to put out content every day. Post, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube's hard to put every day, but YouTube in the form of a podcast, there you go. You know what I'm saying? I need to get back in the habit of it. But until next time, hasta la vista. Come with me. I'm just whatever. Come with me if you want to live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hit me up. Send me deals. I know about this pre-foreclosure stuff now. I'm pretty confident at it, so send me deals. Yeah.